Hey chess lovers, welcome back to Chess Tricky. I'm going to share a really impressive game from Garry Kasparov, how he played the Evans Gambit against Viswanathan Anand. As you all know, Garry Kasparov was the 13th chess world champion, and Anand himself became the 15th world champion. In this game, Viswanathan Anand lost really fast, just 25 moves. On the board, we have the Evans Gambit. The main line here is bishop takes on b4. Evans Gambit accepted. Because if knight captures on b4, the knight no longer defends e5, which is being targeted by the white knight. So, after bishop takes on b4, pawn to c3. Bishop has to go. Black respond by moving the bishop to e7. Anderson variation. No pawn takes. Knight a3, bishop is under fire. This signals the Cordell variation. Pawn takes, queen takes, targeting b7 pawn. Knight f6 blocks queen's view of b7. In the next move, black can castle kingside. Continue with e6, attacking king's knight. The knight doesn't react at all. Knight goes back to c6, targeting queen. Queen h4, knight still under threat. Knight d5, discovered attack. Queen b3, targeting b7 pawn. Anand responds with g6. Because if black castles instead, this will give a slight advantage to Garry Kasparov. Then bishop can go to h6 and threaten the checkmate by capturing on g7. Of course, this will be really annoying for Team Black. Okay, g6, castle, knight b6, avoiding the tempo move c4. c4, we're getting the knight ready to jump to its favorite square, d6, targeting e5. Then rook f to d1, pin the pawn. Knight breaks the pin, also putting pressure on e5 3 times. Bishop h6, preventing black from castling. There's a fight on e5. After knight takes, then knight c3. Of course, the knight here has the potential to go to d5. Please feel free to pause the video. What's your move as black? Anand responds with pawn to f6, top move. Because if you continue here with pawn to c6, that move looks more natural and controls the d5 square from the knight jump. Also opens up the diagonal for the queen. Here, white is winning. After bishop g7, targeting rook. And once the rook moves, the knight goes in. The pawn must not take the bishop because it's pinned by the rook. Okay, let's go back. So, no c6. Continue with f3. White responds with c5, attacking d6 twice! Here. Vishy Anand responds with knight to f7, attacking the bishop on h6. C takes d6. What's your move as black at this point? Okay, the best move here is c takes d6. This is also a move by Vishy Anand. Because if black captures Kasparov's bishop instead, then it's clear the queen is trapped. There's nowhere to go. Or, what if the bishop captures the pawn as a more clever move? The bishop attacks the queen. The other bishop is still under threat as well. What's your move here? Your only move is bishop b5 with check. If bishop blocks, then rook to e1, giving a check. The best move is the knight blocking the check. Then, pawn to f4. Here, black will lose material, because your knight is protecting the bishop. Your bishop is completely safe, so you will be able to capture the black king's knight. But the problem is, what if here the pawn blocks the check from the bishop? Your pair of bishops is in trouble. What do you think the way out is at this point? Here, you still win after bishop to f4, attacking black dark square bishop 3 times. And, if bishop takes, you capture the queen with check. Then takes this guy, of course you win the game completely. Or, if pawn takes bishop, bishop takes, knight takes. After rook captures the knight, black here is in complete collapse, falling apart. the queen's rook is ready to go to e1 and give a check. So, after queen avoids the rook's attack, for example, by going to e7, knight then jumps to e5, attacking the queen, threatening f-pawn, and also potentially aiming for c7. Then, rook can join the attack, moving to a more open file. It depends on which situation you need more. Material-wise, black is better, but not from a positional standpoint. The computer gives white a score of 5.5 because black is in a really cramped position. That means white is in control of the game here. Let's go back to move 19 after pawn takes d6. Here, there's no bishop captured d-pawn. Black continues with pawn takes pawn instead. Kasparov follows up with queen to e3. Knight takes bishop, and queen recaptures. Black has to be very careful now. The queen is ready to go to g7, attacking the rook and h7 pawn, while also putting pressure on the bishop on e7. This can be followed by knight to d5, rook to e1, and the light-squared bishop to b5, a combination that could completely crush black. So what does Anand do? Black plays bishop to f8. The queen has to move, giving a check. Here, the king goes to f7. Because if the bishop blocks instead, it just becomes a target. Knight to d5, rook maybe to e1. That bishop on e7 would just sit there doing nothing. Like a statue. Not good. Okay, king to f7. Knight to d5. Now the attack really begins. The rook can swing over to c1, slide into c7 with check. The bishop can come to c4, creating all kinds of threats. Black can't really do much here except defend. Anand plays bishop to e3, attacking the knight and preparing to activate the rook. Knight to f3, counterattacking. Then the queen takes the bishop. Queen to e7. And after rook to e1 on move 25, Viswanathan resigns. Black is completely helpless in this position. The bishop is ready to come to f3, then bishop to d4. There's simply no counterplay for black. Even if the game continues, for example rook to e8 trying to defend, knight takes bishop, queen recaptures, then bishop to c4, and white is still winning. After queen takes bishop, queen takes rook with check. Or even queen takes queen with check. After rook recaptures, bishop to c4, the rook is pinned and lost. No escape. This is a perfect example of pressure play by the 13th world champion Garry Kasparov, completely dismantling Anand in just 25 moves after rook to e1. Okay, chess tricky friends, that was a super grandmaster game full of tactics and strategy. Hope you learned something from it. Thanks for watching, wish you success, and see you in the next video.